Oh, hello, and welcome to Aldente Rigor Mortis. I am the Space Cow.
I'm not a space cow. I'm normal. And you'll notice that we're not the other people that are usually here. We locked them in our anti-Canadian closet and took away their maple syrup. They're in intensive pain.
And deliciousness. Anyway, yes, I am not the Space Cow. I am, you do not know who I am. But I am not them.
They know who we are because we talked to them earlier this year.
No, they don't. No one knows who we are. We're secrets.
Fine. We are the secretive individuals who are kidnapping this show for this month. Deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm from the South. I'm allowed to do this. That's what we do.
That's what they do in the South. They kidnap podcasters.
They kidnap Canadians and leave them in anti-Canadian places to learn them to be freedoms and Americans. But before we ramble on anymore, we have a special airing for you tonight, Internet. We are going to talk about the creepiest pasta of all. One written by a Mr. Tingle, Chuck Tingle. It's called Space Raptor Butt Invasion, and is truly the most horrifying story on the Internet.
Truly. None ever can grasp the depths of the loneliness and the feeling of total ineptitude and helplessness that one feels stranded on a desert planet alone. Did I mention the aloneness?
I believe Ridley Scott put a pretty good phrase in that, in space no one can hear you scream. This happens to be on a space planet involving dinosaur astronauts.
You spoilers. Jesus. Alright, so to break this down, this starts with our protagonist, who I don't think has a name.
Nope, he is unnamed.
He is unnamed. He is an astronaut on the planet Zorflax, I believe, as part of the human colonist NASA's off-world outpost program, where he's serving with...
Sorry, we got this wrong. It is the distant planet of Zorbius, and our main character's name is Lance.
Right, I forgot his name is Lance. And then his partner's name is like... It's not Kirk, because that's too obvious.
I don't remember his name. He was forgettable. He was there for... He was there
long enough to be forgotten. But yes, they're in the airlock waiting for his shuttle to arrive because he's going to return to Earth, and Lance is going to serve a year on the station alone for some reason, because humanity needs to find another home in 10 years, because I guess this probably came out around the same time as Interstellar. That would be my guess. And so... so they talk about playing ping pong in low gravity, and then the return shuttle shows up. He punches in some buttons, disappears from the story, and is promptly forgotten. So Lance goes off to check the terraforming station on Zorbius, and there's a message from his like captain or whatever saying, "Keep your eyes open and don't get too heavy. Things can get a little strange. You might start seeing things." And certainly enough, Lance does believe he's seeing things when he goes to the terraforming station and sees another figure in a spacesuit who quickly hops onto a two-wheeled vehicle, which I'm believing from the cover of this book is a Segway. And
it looks as if it is a industrial Mars rover Segway. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's one of those. Have you not seen the? There's actually real all-terrain Segways. Have you not seen those?
I choose not to see those.
I will make you see those.
No, don't make me see it. Please don't burst my precious southern bubble. It took years to form.
But anyway, he thinks he's hallucinating it until he goes down to the terraforming station and sees there are in fact tracks and treads from the vehicle, I guess. He tries to make chase, but the space wind kicks up and blows the trails away. So he goes and checks the terraforming station, goes back to his habitat, the other station, asks the computer if anybody else is supposed to be there. And the computer says, "No, you are supposed to be alone for the next year." So Lance says, "Who the fuck was that?" And then he's awakened in the night by a loud knocking on his door and sees the spacesuit-wearing figure arrive. Notices that it has 3 fingers on its space gloves. And after some talking, he finds out that the suited figure is named Orion, and lets him in, and sees when he takes off his helmet, he is actually a velociraptor, but the kind from Jurassic Park and not the actual kind, I'm guessing.
Not enough feathers.
Yeah, or a lot of things. But he finds out that Orion is, in fact, he finds out from Orion that, in fact, the dinosaurs were not killed in the Ice Age, but actually left Earth when they themselves found it uninhabitable to go, and he is actually part of a research team on Earth 2. And they're also looking for new places to inhabit and looking over the rest of the galaxy or something. Anyway, Lance and Orion get to hanging out and spending time together because just because they're the only people, they're the only individuals. They're not people. Raptors aren't people. Show me the birth certificate.
They just hung out, I believe is the exact phrase, and they were just cool dudes that hung out.
They just hung out all the time. And then the story takes a wildly terrifying turn when Lance turns over to Orion and says, "Hey, it's not gay if a human and a raptor have sex, right?" And then some stuff happens.
And then what ends up happening is gay dinosaur action in a tale of space raptor love.
It's horror beyond measure.
Horror beyond measure. Now, I happen to think that this is poorly written tripe, but my co-host here,
I think this is the greatest. I think this is the greatest story ever written. It paints incredible landscapes with its words, talking repeatedly about the hilly gray vistas and how even after years upon this lifeless rock, they still bring joy to to Corporal Lance and his and the deep meta narrative created with Earth and Earth 2, and it leaves itself well open for a sequel. Why did the dinosaurs leave? What is their purpose? What is it like on Earth 2?
I'm pretty sure there is a sequel for that, if you do believe this, in Space Raptor Butt Patrol. But I have to disagree. I feel as if the setting is bland and they use the word space a lot for everything, such as Space Wind, or Space Capsule, or Space Dinosaur, or Earth 2 Space Boogaloo. I don't know why they use that phrase, but it felt as if it was a little forced.
I have to disagree. I will say when I was editing up this fine story, this fine crafted fiction read by our own mysterious third person Sam Graebner, I was looking up sound effects, and in fact I did find on freesound.org a sound called Space Wind. And if you would believe it, there are many different cases of space wind, and this, which is actually recorded by our space probes. And unsurprisingly, when you get to stuff in space, you use the word space a lot.
See, you're infected too. You can't think of a better word other than space. I pass space wind all the time, technically. I'm made of space stars and space leftovers. So technically, everything is space, and you're using poor descriptors just like this writer to describe everything. Hot, searing wind. It's just as good as space wind.
It's a low-gravity environment. This wind would be neither hot nor searing. It's not
a dusty wind, so maybe it's a grit-filled, sandy wind.
Look, you're missing the point of the story. The point of these descriptors is to remind us that it's set in space. A thing that you might forget if they don't keep saying space to you all the time.
I will concede that point. We do need a reminder every 10 or 20 seconds as to where the location is set. That is true.
Otherwise, we could forget that this is in fact a space raptor butt invasion and not an Earth raptor butt invasion.
I don't like conceding these points to you, but yes, you are correct. Let's see. Well, I do have to take another one. By the definition, they would be gay, wouldn't they? It is two male entities having sexual relations with each other.
It gets complicated when you get to the idea of sentient animals. Like, we've already crossed a lot of barriers at this point. But yes, I will concede the point to you that yes, it probably is gay. They just, didn't want to admit it. It's one of those, it's only gay if the balls touch kind of things. And also they break that rule because the balls touch many, many times. So yes, I will concede the point that relation between a man and a raptor...
raptor.
Yeah, a male raptor is in fact pretty gay. I think when you get to sodomy, I think that's about the point where that's pretty much there's not a lot of points where sodomy is not gay, or I don't know, at least not an infraction against God, but neither is I think God's already turned his eyes away at a man getting done in the butt by a raptor. Listen,
it is completely natural. And it is a loving act. We don't need to turn our eyes away.
Oh yes, no. That's where the true horror is, because you can't turn your eyes away. All you can do is stare. All you can do is sit and watch as this proud astronaut succumbs to the loneliness of space and
the feminine wiles of the great velociraptor.
The strong masculine wiles. I gotta say, Orion is a pretty fuckable name.
I mean, it's Greek in origin. You've seen the Greeks.
Yeah.
The Greek pantheon. They're pretty fuckable themselves.
It's true. It's very true. But let's see, what else can we say? I will say that this is some of Chuck Tingle's weaker writing. When we get into... This is also one of his earlier stories, preceding such classics as "Pounded in the Butt by My Own Butt" and "Oppressed in the Butt by my non-denominational holiday cups," which I would really refer to the latter as his sort of magnum opus. Although I think he'd refer to that as "Pounded in the Butt by my book, Pounded in the Butt by My Own Butt."
I see he has a working theme in his narratives.
I didn't think about it until you mentioned it, but yeah.
See, now I'm interested, because it sounds as if you've happened across more of his work. This is the first time I've read any of Mr. Tingle's work, and it does feel as if this is a brand new work. I'm actually looking up now. This is his 5th work out of what appears to be 20 or 40.
And I'm pretty sure it's closer to 40.
So yeah, I guess what I see here is a developing artist that hasn't quite learned the ins and outs of how to hone his craft. Like, his last one is Gay T-Rex Law Firm Executive Boner.
That's a newer one than Leo DiCaprio gets pounded in the butt by his Oscar. But I will say that Chuck Tingle's Space Raptor butt invasion, at least if you look on Amazon, is surrounded by classics such as Carlton Mellick III's The Haunted Vagina and Embassy Town by China Meville, as well as Hoarfrost by Jordan L. Hawk.
So he's in good relations and in good company with other modern horror writers, even if they don't quite follow the usual line that I've heard about the creepypastas. These are more mainstream, not in form.
Yes, these are in fact professional writers and not amateurs. I guess we can technically put Chuck into the realm of professional writer.
He's got 40 books.
All of them covered in handsome dudes and some kind of other thing, usually an object with a human face stamped on it.
So I have to ask, since you've apparently read or at least done a little bit more research on it, what is this theme, and why does he go back to butt invasion so much? Do you have an idea as to possibly why this theme shows up in more of his works?
Well, I wish let's see. I believe it is. I believe it is that he is fascinated by all things sensual, leading to his creation of his iconic tinglers. But I do not know the true obsession of his, as I have not followed his own autobiography, Dr. Chuck Tingle's Complete Guide to Romance.
Oh, that's very interesting. If that's an autobiography, that should be something we should possibly check up on, or throw down the anti-Canadian hole so they can read it for the next show.
Yeah, we'll give it to the true professionals of creepypasta research, to get deeper into their own topic. They could follow up with such classics as Scary Stories to Tingle Your Butt and Butt-A-Gettin'.
Breaking the fourth butt, even. 8 hot to trot meta tinglers.
And The Art of the Tingle.
So I guess what we're saying here now is that not only has this man created what we are reading here is a burgeoning author, but it's a burgeoning genre of its own. A story of love across species and sentience and objects. And it's kind of showing this new dichotomy in the world as how we don't need to just view individuals versus objects, but we need to start to bring together people and objects into one cloud, and that involves loving them as well as using them in the butt.
It's also I fully agree that Chuck Tingle is a true creative inspiration. There are very few individuals who can just look at random things on their desk and say, "How can I have this pound me in the butt today? What context can I create to truly be pounded in the butt by a coffee cup?"
And this is why I like to think that we were able and lucky to find somebody just on the cusp of greatness. Give it 10, 20 years, listeners, maybe even less, maybe in the next coming years, and you'll see him in the likes of comparisons to the greats like Michelangelo or Leonardo or Donatello or Raphael
or
the other
Splinter.
Ninja Turtles. Yes, exactly.
He actually already has a certain amount of widespread appeal, including a number of interviews. I mean, again, he's written his own he's written his own autobiography here, where we learned that he apparently grew up in Truth, Utah, where he did not believe that he would. Where he did not really believe that he would become an expert in the foremost stories of love between people, raptors, bricks, and butts.
Well, he grew up in a land called Truth, and he is presenting us the truth in his work. So I think he did his hometown proud.
I think so. There is no greater or more horrifying truth than the fact that you can in fact be pounded in the butt by everything.
And I think that's the main takeaway from this, is that, try as you might, this might be a creepypasta, but it is truth and is heartwarming. Because not only can you be pounded in the butt, but you can make love to anything.
It's just, well, it's like the existential crisis, where you realize how pointless you are in the universe, but then you can take that and realize that there's a certain weight lifted off your shoulders, that it doesn't matter what you do. You just live your life and be happy because everything's pointless.
Yeah, we're getting into the existential ideas of absurdism, nihilism, and existentialism. Nothing you do matters, and he chooses to go with the absurdist route. Nothing matters, and on the surface, or when you deep down, nothing matters, so enjoy it, and have fun, and and understand the absurdity of it.
Yeah. Just write a story about getting pounded in the butt by the sun.
Or an asteroid. I think that one would be fitting too.
I think I'm pretty sure that one already exists. I'm entirely certain that one exists.
Really?
I've lost track of some of Chuck Tingle's stories. He's a very prolific author. He's written many a butt pounding in his day.
Okay, well, I'll have to start checking out his works more. This was really interesting, and I will say, it is not the best work I've read, as we mentioned earlier before we kind of got off on.
Well, again,
the majesty that is Mr. Tingle.
Again, this is. Also, I will point out that some of his stories are published in paperback. But yes, again, we bring talent of all varieties on this show. It's sort of a raw talent engine, and I think in this case we're able to see what happens when you really put your mind and focus to a craft.
And butt.
You really gotta. Sometimes you really gotta work your butt off so that it can pound you in your own butt. And I think I would definitely. So recommendations. Would you recommend Space Raptor Butt Invasion to a creepypasta enthusiast?
As an individual story, no. As part of a larger work of a great author and watching his maturation process, yes.
So
maybe if you wanted to check out some of the later works, if you're a bit of a snob like me for grammar and storytelling, but as it stands, Space Raptor Butt Invasion is very, very interesting. I got south. I don't know why I got south.
You can't not be south when you're talking about a butt invasion. After all, isn't Georgia America's butt?
I won't even confirm nor deny that. I plead the fifth.
Because right next to Florida, America's dick. But I personally would recommend Space Raptor Butt Invasion, if not for the fact that I have read many a creepypasta that were both worse, less edited, and longer, considerably longer. Space Raptor Butt and also Space Raptor Butt Invasion does have the benefit of being totally horrifying in its content. It doesn't. It's a quick 17 pages. Doesn't linger too long on the tongue, and if you get it, it comes with a free bonus book that we're not going to talk about. But you can find all if you want to look up the entire Tingler library, just look up Dr. Chuck Tingle on Amazon, and you too can experience the wonder of just amazing free Kindle books if you have Amazon Prime.
And I will definitely be checking out more of this Mr. Tingle's work. They sound incredibly interesting, and I am with Matt with how he perceives them. He has changed my mind completely, and I have now come around to Mr. Tingle's tinglings.
Well then, remember, if you like this show, be sure to comment it on Kiwi 6. Leave a rating and review on iTunes. Comment on SoundCloud. Leave a comment and a like and subscribe on YouTube, I guess. Remember to retumble it. Retweet the tumble. Share it on Instagram. Then also copy it over to Snapchat. Be sure to staple it to a dick pic. Let's see. Share it with your friends on Grindr. And Periscope the entire episode while you're listening to it. And send the Periscope to aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. Send the link to the Periscope. Send the VODs. We want to see your absolute original reactions. And plenty of dick pics. Just send them in. Just send them straight to aldenterigamortis@gmail.com.
Just a flood of them.
Just a flood of them. Let's see. Remember to post your reaction gifs. Also to Tumblr. But post the JPEGs to Weasel. And let's see. And take your favorite quotes from this episode. Put a minion in it. Put it on Facebook. Share it with plenty of moms. Is there any housekeeping I'm forgetting about?
If you can think of a meme, just spread it everywhere. Spread it like your cheeks.
Spread it like your cheeks that will be pounded by a space raptor. And, let's see. Yeah, I think that'll do her.
All right.
Just like a space raptor does him.
It's been a pleasure talking with you people today.
It's been a spine-tingling adventure.
We will release the Canadians now, and you will never hear us again. Goodbye.
Yes, sleep well. Ooh, spooky noises. That was so stupid.
Dude, I can tell your practice of the second city paid off. I was fucking dying. That was the stupidest thing.
We ran out of stuff to talk about in the story pretty fast.
17 pages of some dude getting fucked by a raptor. What are we going to talk about for 30 minutes?
Yeah, that's fair. And also, I didn't take any notes.